When buying something expensive, have you ever wondered why it's so expensive? Does it really cost that much to make, or are they just selling it for an exorbitant price? In today's speech, I'm going to break down some of those prices when it comes to pharmaceuticals and prescriptions. Ever since I've been old enough to drive, I've had to go and pick up my own prescriptions, and seeing the totals every time always makes me wonder, why is it so expensive? With that being said, I'm going to break down some of the costs, whether it's the average price an average American family makes, or if it's breaking down the sales of a pharmaceutical company. Now we're ready to dive in to see what the average American family makes. In this section, we're going to go over to some statistics and see what they really mean and how it pertains to us. Now let's look at some aspects of the average American family. According to Statista.com, the average size of an American family is 3.1 people per household. I know what you're thinking. 3.14 people? How is that even possible? It's not, it's a stat. Can't have 3.14 of a person. Alright, so if we think about it, that could be a mom and dad and a boy, a mom and dad and a girl. Now I know what you're thinking. 3.14? You can't have 0.14 of a person. However, in a normal family, it could be just 3 people. It could be the parents and the kid. It could be a single parent and 2 kids. It could be just a single person by himself. Or it could be a family, whether it's 5 kids, 2 parents. The possibilities are endless. Now, let's break down some aspects of the average American family. According to Statista.com, the average American family makes up 3.14 people. I know what you're thinking, 3.14 people, how's that even possible? It's not. It's just a stat. Here are some pictures of an average American family. You can see 3 people and 1 person, and then 2 people and 2 kids. In a study done by Credit Karma in 2018, it showed that the average American household brings in $61,937. Now, if you take that $61,937 and you divide it by the average American household, according to Statista.com, that's 3.14 people, that only brings it down to $19,725.16 per person if that money were to be divided upon everybody in the household. Now, let's think about this in a visual way. Here we have a picture of what is to be $62,000, just to round up and make it easier. And here we have, just to round up and make it easier, that $19,725 brought into $20,000. Now, do you see the difference between this and this? It's extreme. And thus raises the question, how is one person supposed to make $20,000 for 1 year last for everything they need? Now it's time to switch gears a little bit. Here we're going to talk about the company Pfizer. Pfizer is the largest pharmaceutical company in the United States today. Now let's take a look and break down some of the key points of Pfizer. According to a report done by CNBC, Pfizer was the most profitable pharmaceutical company in the year of 2018. They brought in roughly $55 billion. $55 billion. That's insane. $1 billion is shown on this picture right here. That's 12 pallets full of cash. Now to think about that, 12 pallets. You need 666 pallets to equal $55 billion. 66 pallets is enough to fill up an entire warehouse. That's just what they brought in 1 year. Now let's take a look at how they spent that $55 billion. According to Statista, Pfizer spent $8.65 billion on research and development. I know what you're thinking, $8.65 billion. That's an insane amount of money. However, that's only a fraction of what they made over the course of a year. And then they spent another $7.95 billion on production. That leaves a whopping $38.4 billion left over. And that raises questions. What are they doing with that money? Do they keep it? Do they use it to lobby? What do they do with 34? Now I get what you're thinking. $38.4 billion, that's not just profit. Yes, some of it does go to paying employees and packaging. However, that's only going to be a fraction of the cost. What do pharmaceutical companies do with the profits that they make? Now, I know I threw a lot of information at you. However, let's go back and recap what we did. First, we talked about the average American family, how many people are in the average American family, the average amount of money that's made per household, and then we broke it down even further to talk about the average money per person as well as the average amount of money that a family spends on pharmaceuticals for a year. Then we talked about the largest profitable company in the United States, Pfizer. We talked about how much money they make, how much money they spend, what their profits are. Now, I know it's a lot, and I look forward to, and with all that information, I know comes a lot of questions, and I look forward to answering those questions next time when we talk about what laws and regulations can be in place to restrict the pharmaceutical companies from creating such large profit margins.